Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Vikram. In this class, we'll try to understand CSS float property. And from this video, we are going to start a new section called Mastering CSS Layouts using Flexbox and Grid. And these two properties, Flexbox and Grid, are very important to understand because the modern CSS is totally based upon these two concepts. So watch these videos in this section. The videos in this section, watch these videos as many times as possible until you get the clarity, because mastering these two properties, you can become a better web developer. So let's, before going deep into the concepts of Flexbox and Grid properties, we will start our concept, we will start this section with float property. What is this float property? Float was originally designed to wrap text around images, but it became a way of doing layouts. So what does that mean is, if you want the text to be wrapped around an image, then the float is very much helpful. But slowly what happened is, it has become a way of controlling layouts, creating layouts. So this way you may not be able to understand. We'll try to understand this concept by using an example. Let's go on to our Visual Studio Code. Here is the example that defines the definition of float property. A float property is used to wrap text around an image. So this is what wrapping a text around an image. So this is the use of actual float property. But what happened is, it is used to control the layouts. So what we will do is, we will try to understand, we will take another example and we will try to understand the concept of float. So how it has become a property to control the layouts, that we will try to understand by using another example. So let's go on to our Visual Studio Code and try to understand those concepts. So this is the example that I have taken. So in this example, I have taken a div, which is a class container, means this is the container of 4 children. So child 1, child 2, child 3 and child 4. So the class names are child 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these 4 childs are contained in a div called container. So this is the general structure, so upon which we are going to understand the concept of float. And the styles related to these divs are defined here in the style.css. So the container div is going to have these properties. The width is 100%. And the border is, this is the border and this is the background, and each child is having these properties. So all of these childs are having the same properties. The properties is, each child is having a border and a width of 25%, means 25, 25, 25, 25. It is going to occupy the entire 100% width. So that is how the concept has been designed. So what we will do is, we'll just see the output first, so that we'll get a clear idea what's happening. So what is the example that we have taken? So this example, we have taken a div with a background of this blue color, and these are the child divs. There are 4 child divs. As the property of div is the layout of the div is what we call it as a block element. So we got each div one after the another, and as we mentioned that the width of each div is 25%. So that is why each div is taking only the 25% of the entire container. Okay, so this is the basic idea. So now what we will do is, we will try to apply the concept of float property. The float property will have 3 values. Those values are, one is left, another one is right, and the third one is none. So what does left means is, if an element is maintained, if an element is given a property of float left, it means that this element is going to occupy the left position of its container. Okay, so we'll try to understand by using our properties, CSS styles. So here what I will do is, I'll make this child to float to the left of the container. Actually, it is already there in the left of the container. Let's do it so that we can understand this. And I made it as left. So the changes, there will not be any changes because it is already there in its left position. So let's make it. So this is already there in the left position. So what I will do is, I'll make this child also to the left position. So for that, we have a property called float and left. So what is this float left is doing is, the child 2 will be floated to the left of the left of its container. So already there is a sibling of it on the top of it, and this float is going to be, this div will move to the left of it. So let's see the output. So how it will, see here, the second div has been made floated to the left. So we are changing, we are controlling the layout. Try to understand this. We are controlling the layout. Okay, so now what we will do is, I will control this div also. I want this div also to be floated left of the container. So starting from the left side of the container, I want this div also to be on the left of it, left of the sibling containers, means the other containers. So just give float is equal to left. So everything is fine till now. So let's see the output. So the third div is now on the left of its left side of the container. Okay, now we will make the fourth div also, but there is a problem. So here is the point that we need to understand. This is the limitation of a div, of a float property. So this is very important to understand. What is the limitation and how the behavior is going to change, that we will try to understand. If I make the fourth div also as a to float to the left of it, what happens? Let's see that. I am trying to make float left. Now let's see the output. So what happens? See here, everything is gone. Why? So that is the limitation of float property. So what does that mean is, if all the children of an element are made to float, then it loses, the parent element will lose its height property. It makes its height property to 0. See the border. So the border of the parent element is black in color. Now previously, let's remove that and see. So if I comment out this, I made only the first 3 children as the float left. Now we are having this border, black border is there, and the background is there. Now whenever I made this fourth div, if all the child elements of an element are made to flow to one direction, then the parent element will lose its height. It makes its height to 0. Why? Because there should be at least one child that should not flow. If that is the case, the parent div is there, whatever the parent container is there, that will decide the height of the container. If any one of the child node is left without applying the property of float, then that existing child node, which is not made as a float property, that child will decide the height of this entire parent node. So that is how the float will work. So there is no other option. So when all the elements are made to flow, then it will lose its height. Its height will become 0. The parent height will become 0. With that, what happens? Whatever the properties that are getting applied, which are based upon the height, they will lose. Means the background has been made to 0. There is no background. And the border, there will not be border also, because as the height is 0, there is no border. Try to understand this. This is how the float will work. And this is one of the very big limitations that we have with the float layout. So is there any fix? Yes, there are some fixes. We can fix this also. That we will try to understand in our next class. Hope you got the clarity on this concept. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. If you have any doubts regarding this concept, please post your doubt in the comment section below. If you feel that this video is helpful to you, please give us a like and please share this video with your friends so that they will also get benefited. Thanks for watching.